Sharks. Yeah, all of my ops fell off, which is why I have new ops now. I have government ops. Did you see this guy who lost the debate to you is crying to the Senate about how scary you are?
Type of left-wing ideology.
What is this? Hassan gets mentioned in the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee hearing by right-wing podcaster. That's awesome. I didn't even see this. Michael Knowles. Once again, I like that the Republicans have decided, after sequencing out some of the most horrifying violence in their commentary, they have the audacity to turn around and be like, yeah, these guys that we actually debate against, sometimes they win too hard. I haven't even thought about this loser in years. And he's over here being like, he's scary. Please, mods, please arrest him. Please. Holy hell, you can't go one day without being mentioned by the federal government now. It's just, oh God, it is so goddamn annoying. More drama slop has dropped about Kaigate. What do you mean? Who gives a dude? Listen, you have to understand something. I got government ops, okay? I can't be dealing with whatever supposedly apolitical content creator had to say about me on a daily basis, okay? And it's so funny that all of these people that are supposedly liberals, that present themselves as liberals, present themselves as defenders of democracy, small d democracy, and the Democratic Party, are so quick to align with some of the most nefarious right-wing forces. Something to consider. Just saying, okay? Something to consider. It's just strange that all these people who are like, I hate Donald Trump, I hate JD Vance, but you know who I hate more? Hasan Piker. And I actually will find myself in allegiance with JD Vance and also Michael Knowles as long as they are giving it to my least favorite person. Interesting. Hassan's career is the true monkey paw wish. No, it's just the same exact dynamic that you've seen throughout patterns of historic fascist movement development that you are literally watching get relitigated in real time in even the smallest corners of the internet in the dumbest way possible, where you have liberals who are unserious about opposing this administration, actively leaning into this administration at a time when they are in the crosshairs themselves without even realizing that they themselves are in the crosshairs, only because the fascists are opposing their true enemy, it seems, socialists. I have less smoke for liberals than liberals do for me, because I understand that liberalism is a broader movement. Liberalism is a mass movement. I want to bring liberals onto our side. I want liberals to fight against fascism. I want liberals to fight against the Trump administration, oppose the horrifying things that they're doing. And that's precisely the reason why when the Democratic Party does things that I agree with, I give them credit for it. Even if they're doing a horrible job of defending it on principle, I still stand by them. Like this government shutdown and the way that they have successfully been able to show the American public that the reason why the shutdown is happening is because Republicans are refusing to fund ACA subsidies. Okay? And in the process, they are dangling the starvation of 40 million Americans in an effort not to offer those subsidies where people's premiums are going to triple. Okay? It's crazy. If I can let bygones be bygones because I don't give a shit about irrelevant drama or the back and forth, because I recognize that there's a far more consequential thing happening here with respect to what the goddamn with respect to what the goddamn government is doing to the American people as a whole, including even MAGA voters, okay? Then you should be able to do that too. So I always say, one, judge me by my enemies, and I always tell you, two, pay close attention to what people focus on, what your favorite content creators focus on. Maybe you find yourself watching some of these other content creators, and they spend a good deal of time attacking someone like myself every step of the way. In this day and age, right now, in this very moment, when we are in the throes of fascism, if they are spending most of their time aligning with the administration against a person that they've declared the true enemy of their movement, someone like myself, then they're unserious. In the most charitable interpretation, they're unserious. And in the least charitable interpretation, they don't care about the growing fascist movement in this country. You're not worried these libs won't throw you to the wolves because it feels more likely every day? No, I'm not. Because I think that there are especially in the broader liberal movement, whether it be the Podjons or whether it be people like Philip DeFranco or whether it be all of these people that are voters of the Democratic Party, they actually do take this seriously. Unlike the content creators that want to hyper focus on drama and actively try to advance their own personal distaste, advance their own personal agendas. That's it. So no, I don't think so. I think the Wine Mom Coalition, the boomers, they are far more serious about the ways in which this administration has moved. Okay? And they are far more invested in opposing this fascist government than the random liberal, like self-described liberal content creator who is hyper focused and hyper invested in like slop. That's it. There's a reason why I don't talk about them and instead talk about whatever the going on in the world, because I think that is far more consequential. My job is to communicate all of the awful things that this administration is doing. My job is not to just like always be invested in dealing with drama.
The belief that ideas don't really matter.
Even if that drama sometimes turns into statements that are a matter of official congressional record.
And that we're really just warring groups that must clobber each other over the head, which is why you're seeing the increased violence there. I think you saw this not only in the horrific assassination of Charlie, but in the reactions that came afterward. As the scene was unfolding, a Democrat analyst, Matthew Dowd, on MSNBC, the left-wing cable outlet.
I cannot believe that they punished him for it. What is this? Oh, I saw this TikTok. Yeah.
Blamed Charlie Kirk. He said, quote, "Hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions." The New York Times reacted by publishing the assassination-related musings of Hasan Piker, a prominent left-wing streamer.
Yeah, except I was about to debate Charlie, and he can't find anything that I've said about Charlie that's even remotely violent. You want to hear something even more ironic? Michael Knowles, just like all these other Republican charlatans, actually immediately tried to take over Charlie's position in Dartmouth. Did you know that? Yeah, I'll tell you. He was like, "Oh, I'll debate him in Charlie's place." Yeah, sharks. It was supposed to be Ben Shapiro, and then Ben Shapiro said no. And then Michael Knowles was the replacement, and Megyn Kelly. Yeah, bunch of vultures. And then he has the audacity to bring my name up in the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Interesting. Yeah, I said no to the Michael Knowles thing. I was like, he's no motion. I don't give a about duking it out with Michael Knowles. I'll do it for Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro said no. And then Michael Knowles was like, "I'll take his place." I said no. I was like, I don't want to debate the fourth most relevant Daily Wire guy. Ben Shapiro himself is not even relevant. The only reason why I would have done the Ben Shapiro thing is at least because of all the previous years of Ben Shapiro's work that at least would make that moment more important. In any case, yeah, all of my ops fell off, which is why I have new ops now. I have government ops. But yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit? Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to show you guys. It's actually a pretty decent take. Let's look.
Watching Hasan not only because he proved himself to be a misogynist and racist.
The rad lib domino effect bandwagoning circular firing squad that I've witnessed in the past month or so surrounding this man has honestly been terrifying. It's really been scary to witness, to see how quickly the so-called left will turn on its own mouthpieces, to see how easy it is to create a leper over here. You can do it like that. It takes virtually nothing for an accusation to become guilt, or in this case for a coordinated smear campaign by the right wing, because they know exactly what buttons to push in our lefty little pea brains to get us to operationalize and weaponize identity politics against each other. And I'm not saying this because I think Hasan Piker is the greatest person on earth, or he didn't do and say things that deserve criticism, or that you have to listen to him. You don't have to listen to him. I'm just saying this because this is indicative of where we are. If we keep doing this, we keep creating lepers like this, then there will never be any power, any movement, any leverage, anything over here. We will just continue to spiral in our purity and our self-flagellation and our priestliness and our cannibalization into absolute obscurity and irrelevance while fascism takes over the rest of the world. That is where we are. That is
It's true. It's a self-defeating cycle. And the right wing know exactly how to manipulate liberals and leftists of different varieties into action to play a formative role in destroying whoever they have that are like the most visible elements within their advocacy movement. Some people, I think, do it because they're self-interested. We've seen a lot of those people. A lot of those people have been routinely disparaged because they've made a fool of themselves over and over again throughout the years. If you've been in here long enough, you know, you got the, what is it, like Sookie's mom or whatever. There's like so many different examples of like people that used to say, I have betrayed the revolutionary cause. I'm not a real leftist. I'm sheepdogging people in the Democratic Party, only for them to turn around and become out and about right-wing MAGA supporters. Many such examples exist. One of the greatest ones is obviously Jimmy Dore, right? So there are people like that. There are people like that that have existed in this space for a very long time. I've never actually changed my perspective on any of this, but it is really interesting, and I have seen this so many times over where like people are so easily duped, not just like the content creators or the advocates themselves. There are so many people who very quickly will just go, oh, this guy is bad because of this reason or that reason. And instead of actually doing their own research, instead of like coming to this conclusion on their own by like tackling the subject matter, looking into any number of different videos that I have on any number of different subjects that I'm being called out for having bigoted opinions over, people just immediately go, nah, he's bad. It's over. This guy's awful. We need to find someone else. And then they'll turn around and be like, why don't we have any cool leftists out there? I don't know, because we are whack. We're just broadly a whack movement. Okay. There is this like weird gatekeeping culture on the left, which I find to be strange because like our goal is to educate the masses. Like this is a mass movement. You need to have mass mobilization. So like there's the weird gatekeeping aspect of the left where they're like, oh no, we're reaching a lot larger of a movement. We got to make sure that we actually cut this in half, please. What is going on? And then there's also people that like people that have this improper understanding or don't want to. You don't watch them, bro, and you are doing gatekeeping now. Wait, you don't watch who? Jimmy is good, though? You don't watch him? Wait, what? Jimmy Dore? Brother, I know Jimmy Dore personally. What are you talking about? I have rarely ever brought up Jimmy Dore. What are you talking about? This is one of the few instances where I've actually brought him up. Baited. Okay, you got me. Whining about purity tests is a waste of time. There is truth to this. There is truth to whining about purity tests. It's like the leftist version of constantly decrying cancel culture that right-wing comics do, right? It's always like, oh my God, wokeness ruined comedy. Oh my God, cancel culture ruined comedy. It's kind of like a leftist version of that as well. But just like there is some truth to the chirpers on that front, there is some truth in this instance as well. It's good to sometimes to do a little bit of housekeeping. Okay? It's important. It's important to do a little bit of housekeeping. It's not, this community is one of the few places on the internet where this community is one of the few places on the internet, and you should know this. You've been in here and you've been a subscriber for 7 months at this point, where we don't do that. Like we are more open-minded, or at least I try to make sure that we are more open-minded to people who are on their own personal journey, right?